Are you constantly waiting for life to feel better than it does right now? Are you telling yourself that happiness will come later, when you achieve more, earn more, become more? If so, you are not alone. Many people spend their days chasing improvement while quietly overlooking the moments that already hold peace. The mind moves toward the future, replaying the past, comparing, planning, striving. And in that restless movement, the simple beauty of this ordinary day slips by unnoticed. Buddhist wisdom offers a gentler truth. Happiness is not found at the end of striving. It is cultivated in the middle of living, not through possessions, but through presence, not through perfection, but through awareness. In this video, you will discover 6 daily habits to find happiness and cherish everyday moments, practical, grounded practices you can begin today. You do not need to change your whole life, you only need to meet it differently. Habit 1. Begin each day by noticing what is already enough before you reach for improvement. Pause. Before you evaluate your progress, soften. One of the quiet reasons people struggle to feel happy is that the mind is constantly scanning for what is missing, what is incomplete, what is not yet good enough. This habit begins by gently interrupting that pattern. Each morning, take 1 minute to acknowledge what is already sufficient in your life. Not what is perfect, not what impresses others, simply what is here. Perhaps you have a place to rest. Perhaps you have a body that carries you, even if imperfectly. Perhaps you have someone who cares. Perhaps you have breath in your lungs right now. In Buddhist wisdom, contentment is not complacency, it is clarity. It is recognizing that while life may not be flawless, it is still worthy of appreciation. Buddha often emphasized that craving, constant wanting, is at the root of dissatisfaction. When the mind is always reaching, it cannot rest. And without rest, happiness feels distant. But when you begin the day by noticing sufficiency, something shifts. Instead of starting with, "What do I need to fix?" you begin with, "What is already supporting me?" This is not forced positivity. You are not denying hardship. You're expanding your awareness to include what is stable alongside what is uncertain. Try this tomorrow morning. Before standing up, say silently, "For now, this is enough." Let your eyes open gently. Notice the light in the room. Notice the quiet sounds. Notice that this moment, however ordinary, is complete in itself. The mind may resist. It may say, "But there's so much to improve." That's okay. Improvement can come later. Happiness does not require perfection. It requires presence. Throughout your day, return to this question: what is enough right now? When you eat, notice that the meal is enough. When you finish a task, notice that your effort is enough. When you speak kindly, notice that your words are enough. Over time, this habit reshapes your emotional baseline. Instead of living in constant comparison with others, with past versions of yourself, with imagined futures, you begin to inhabit your real life more fully. And something unexpected happens. You feel lighter, not because everything changed, but because your relationship to not enough softened. True happiness is not built from dramatic breakthroughs. It grows from daily recognition that life, as it is, holds value. When you practice seeing sufficiency, even briefly, you begin to cherish ordinary moments. And ordinary moments are where most of life unfolds. Habit 2. Create one mindful pause in the middle of your day. Happiness fades quickly when we move through life on autopilot, rushing from task to task, replying automatically, scrolling unconsciously, thinking ahead while the present passes unnoticed. The second habit is simple but transformative. Create one intentional pause each day, not at the beginning, not at the end, but somewhere in the middle, when life is already moving. Choose a time that feels realistic. It could be during lunch, before a meeting, after finishing a piece of work, while washing your hands, while sitting in your car. When that moment arrives, stop, just for 60 seconds. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel your breath entering and leaving. Notice the temperature of the air. Notice the sounds around you. You are not trying to achieve calm. You are reconnecting. In Buddhist practice, mindfulness is not reserved for meditation cushions. It is woven into daily life. Happiness becomes sustainable when awareness enters ordinary activity. During this pause, gently ask yourself, how am I really? Not the version you present to others, not the efficient version, not the strong version, but the honest one. You may notice tension, you may notice fatigue, you may notice subtle joy. All of it is welcome. This pause serves two powerful purposes. First, it interrupts emotional accumulation. Many people carry stress from morning into afternoon and from afternoon into evening without ever releasing it. A single mindful pause prevents the buildup. Second, it reminds you that your worth is not measured by constant productivity. You are allowed to stop. You are allowed to breathe. You are allowed to exist without performing. If thoughts rush in, that is natural. Simply return to sensation, the warmth of your hands, the rhythm of your breathing, the quiet stability beneath movement. Over time, this habit trains emotional regulation. Instead of reacting automatically to stress, you begin responding with awareness. When frustration arises later, you notice it sooner. When joy appears, you savor it more fully. When conversation happens, you listen more deeply. A single mindful pause may seem small, but it changes the texture of your day. Instead of one long blur of activity, your day becomes punctuated by presence. And presence is where happiness lives. Happiness is not only found in vacations, achievements, or celebrations. It is found in moments when you are fully here. When you pause in the middle of your day, you reclaim those moments, and slowly, life begins to feel less rushed and more real. Habit 3. Shift from possession to experience. Many people are taught, quietly and repeatedly, that happiness comes from acquiring. A better phone, a better home, a better title, a better version of yourself. And for a moment, each new possession brings a small lift, a brief spark, a feeling of progress. But it fades, not because you are ungrateful, but because possessions were never designed to hold lasting joy. Buddhist wisdom gently reminds us that everything material is temporary. It changes, it breaks, it becomes outdated. When happiness is tied too tightly to what we own, it rises and falls with circumstance. This third habit invites a subtle but powerful shift. Prioritize experiences of awareness over accumulation. Instead of asking, "What can I get today?" begin asking, "What can I experience fully today?" This question changes everything. You may still work hard, you may still pursue goals, but your center of gravity moves inward. While drinking your morning coffee, instead of multitasking, pause long enough to taste it. Notice the warmth in your hands. Notice the bitterness, the sweetness. Notice how it feels to simply sit. This is not about romanticizing life. It is about inhabiting it. When speaking with someone, give them your attention without preparing your next response. When walking outside, notice the sky, not as background scenery, but as a living presence above you. When eating, just eat. These are not grand gestures. They are small acts of reverence for ordinary moments. In Buddhism, impermanence is not a threat. It is an invitation. Because everything changes, this moment becomes precious. It will not repeat itself in exactly the same way. The conversation you are having today, the light in your room this afternoon, the feeling in your chest as you listen right now, all of it is unrepeatable. When you understand this deeply, possessions lose some of their grip. They are useful, they are enjoyable, but they are no longer the foundation of your emotional life. True happiness grows in experience, not ownership. You begin to cherish shared laughter more than purchased upgrades. You begin to value stillness more than status. You begin to see that the richness of your life is measured in moments of awareness. This habit also reduces comparison. When happiness is tied to possessions, comparison becomes constant. Who has more? Who is ahead? Who appears more successful? But experience cannot be compared in the same way. Your quiet cup of tea is complete in itself. Your conversation is meaningful because you are present for it. Over time, this shift creates a deeper form of contentment. You realize that joy does not require dramatic change. It requires attention, and attention is always available. If you find yourself longing for something external today, pause gently and ask, what experience am I missing right now? Perhaps you are missing the feeling of the chair beneath you. Perhaps you are missing the rhythm of your breath. Perhaps you are missing the subtle beauty of this ordinary afternoon. Return there. Happiness does not live in what you accumulate. It lives in what you allow yourself to fully experience. Habit 4. Practice letting go before the day ends. One of the reasons lasting happiness feels difficult is that we carry yesterday into today. Unfinished conversations, harsh words, self-criticism, regret, resentment. The mind replays them quietly, and the body holds them longer than we realize. This fourth habit is about emotional hygiene. Each evening, practice letting go. Not in a dramatic way, not in a way that denies real hurt, but in a conscious, compassionate way. Before sleeping, take a few minutes to reflect on your day. Notice what felt heavy. Notice where you felt reactive. Notice where you felt disappointed in yourself. Then, instead of analyzing endlessly, place a gentle boundary around it. Say silently, "This happened. It cannot be undone. I choose not to carry it into tomorrow." This is not about suppressing feelings. It is about releasing attachment to rumination. In Buddhist wisdom, clinging is what prolongs suffering. Events occur, emotions arise, but when we cling, replaying, justifying, resisting, they grow roots. Letting go does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop tightening your grip. If you made a mistake today, acknowledge it honestly. If you hurt someone, plan to make amends. If someone hurt you, allow yourself to feel it, and then gently loosen the story. You are not your worst moment. You are not defined by a single conversation. You are not permanently fixed in one reaction. Everything changes. This habit also includes letting go of small irritations. The slow driver, the delayed email, the misunderstood comment. Ask yourself, will this matter in a week? Will this matter in a year? Often the answer is no. When you consciously release small grievances, you protect your inner peace. You create emotional space. Over time, this habit strengthens resilience. You begin to recover more quickly from difficulty. You stop carrying unnecessary emotional weight from one day to the next. And something subtle shifts in your sleep. You rest more deeply. You wake more lightly, because your mind is not overloaded with unfinished emotional tension. Happiness is not the absence of difficulty. It is the absence of unnecessary clinging. When you practice letting go each evening, you free tomorrow from yesterday's residue. You wake with a cleaner heart. You meet the day with less resistance. You begin again. And in beginning again, you create space for fresh joy. Habit 5. Speak to yourself with compassion, especially when you struggle. There is a voice that follows you everywhere. It speaks in the morning when you look in the mirror. It speaks in the afternoon when you make a mistake. It speaks at night when you replay the day. For many people, this voice is not gentle. It criticizes, it compares, it reminds you of what you should have done better. Over time, this inner tone shapes your entire emotional life. You may achieve things, you may receive praise, but if your inner voice remains harsh, happiness feels fragile. This 5th daily habit invites a quiet revolution. Practice compassionate self-talk, not exaggerated positivity, not denial of flaws, but simple kindness toward your own humanity. In Buddhist wisdom, compassion is not reserved for others. It begins inward. The same understanding you would offer a friend is meant to be offered to yourself. Imagine someone you care about deeply makes a mistake. They forget something important. They speak awkwardly. They fall short of their own expectations. Would you say to them, "You always mess things up. You'll never change. You're not good enough"? Most likely, you would not. You would say, "It's okay. You're learning. You're doing your best." Yet internally, many people use words toward themselves that they would never direct outward. This daily habit begins by noticing your tone. Throughout the day, when you feel frustrated, pause and listen to how you are speaking to yourself. Is the voice sharp? Is it impatient? Is it absolute? When you catch harsh self-judgment, do not judge the judgment. Simply soften it. Replace "I'm so bad at this" with "This is difficult and I'm still learning." Replace "I always fail" with "This did not go the way I hoped, but it does not define me." This may feel artificial at first. That is natural. If you have practiced self-criticism for years, kindness will feel unfamiliar. But unfamiliar does not mean untrue. According to Buddhist teaching, suffering increases when we identify too tightly with passing thoughts. A self-critical thought is still just a thought. It arises. It passes. It is not your identity. When you respond to your own struggle with compassion, you interrupt the cycle of shame. And shame is one of the greatest barriers to lasting happiness. Compassion does not lower your standards. It creates emotional safety. And emotional safety allows growth. When you know you will not punish yourself for imperfection, you become more willing to try, more willing to learn, more willing to change. This habit is especially powerful during moments of comparison. You may scroll and see others succeeding. You may feel behind. You may feel inadequate. Instead of spiraling, pause and say, it is human to compare. It is human to feel insecure. I am not alone in this. That sentence alone can dissolve a surprising amount of tension. Self-compassion also includes acknowledging exhaustion. If you are tired, admit it. If you are overwhelmed, admit it. If you are grieving, admit it. You do not need to justify your feelings. You do not need to minimize them. You can place a hand on your chest and breathe slowly. You can remind yourself, I am allowed to be imperfect. I am allowed to rest. I am allowed to move at my own pace. Over time, this habit reshapes your inner atmosphere. Instead of living under constant internal pressure, you begin to live under gentle encouragement. Your nervous system relaxes, your anxiety softens, your joy becomes more accessible. Why? Because happiness grows more easily in a kind environment. If your inner world is harsh and unforgiving, even good moments feel tense. You are waiting for the next mistake, the next failure. But when your inner voice becomes steady and supportive, you begin to trust yourself. You recover more quickly from setbacks. You feel less afraid of being seen. You stop hiding from your own imperfections. Buddhist wisdom teaches that all beings seek relief from suffering. You are not separate from that truth. You deserve relief from unnecessary self-attack. Each day, make this a conscious practice. When something goes wrong, speak gently. When something goes right, acknowledge it without deflecting. When you feel uncertain, reassure yourself instead of condemning yourself. This does not mean you avoid responsibility. If you need to apologize, apologize. If you need to improve, improve, but do so from care, not cruelty. Happiness is not built by pushing yourself into worthiness. It is built by recognizing that your worth was never absent. The way you speak to yourself becomes the emotional climate you live in. Make it kind, and you will begin to feel at home within your own life. Habit 6. Serve quietly and let your happiness extend beyond you. There is a form of happiness that feels bright and personal. And there is another form that feels steady and expansive. The second kind grows when your life touches others gently. This 6th daily habit is simple, yet deeply transformative. Practice one small act of selfless kindness each day. Not for recognition, not for praise, not for identity. Just because you can. In Buddhist wisdom, generosity is not measured by size. It is measured by intention. A small act, offered sincerely, carries profound weight. It loosens the tight grip of self-centered thinking and reminds you that you are part of something larger than your individual concerns. Much of modern unhappiness comes from isolation. Even when surrounded by people, many feel separate, misunderstood, unseen, disconnected. But when you act in service, even in subtle ways, that sense of separation softens. You remember, I am not alone here. My presence matters. My actions ripple outward. This habit does not require dramatic volunteering or large donations. It begins in ordinary moments. Hold the door. Send a message of appreciation. Listen without interrupting. Offer patience when someone is struggling. Leave a space cleaner than you found it. Smile gently at a stranger. These gestures may appear small, but internally something shifts. When you focus only on your own problems, the mind magnifies them. When you extend care outward, perspective widens. Your difficulties remain real, but they are no longer the entire story. There is also a quiet joy in knowing you reduced someone's burden, even slightly. You may never see the full effect of your kindness. You may never be thanked. That is part of the practice. In Buddhism, the intention behind an action shapes its karmic direction. When you act from compassion rather than ego, your own heart becomes lighter. Notice how you feel after offering genuine help. There is often a softness, a warmth in the chest, a quiet satisfaction that does not depend on applause. That feeling is sustainable happiness. It does not spike and crash like external validation. It hums gently in the background. Serving others also reshapes your identity. Instead of asking, "What am I getting from life?" you begin asking, "What am I contributing to life?" This question carries power. It transforms daily interactions. When conflict arises, you might pause and ask, "How can I reduce harm here?" When someone is frustrated, you might think, "How can I respond in a way that steadies the situation?" When you feel rushed, you might remember, "I can move calmly and influence the atmosphere around me." You begin to see yourself not as a passive recipient of circumstances, but as an active participant in creating emotional environments. Kindness becomes your quiet signature. This does not mean neglecting yourself. Service rooted in burnout is not sustainable. Buddhist teaching emphasizes balance, the middle way. You care for yourself so that your care for others flows naturally, not resentfully. Even a single conscious act each day is enough. If you are tired, your act may be small. If you are energized, it may be larger. But consistency matters more than scale. Over time, this practice rewires your perception. You begin noticing opportunities for kindness automatically. You become more attuned to subtle cues, someone's tension, someone's need for reassurance, someone's loneliness. And in responding, you experience connection. Connection is one of the deepest sources of lasting joy. When you feel woven into the human experience, offering and receiving care, life feels meaningful. Possessions fade, achievements fluctuate, but the memory of having eased someone's pain remains steady. True happiness is not only about how you feel inside, it is about how your presence influences the world around you. As you move through your day, try asking, "Where can I soften something? Where can I offer steadiness? Where can I reduce suffering, even slightly?" You do not need to change the world. You only need to touch your small corner of it with awareness and notice what happens within you. A sense of purpose grows, a quiet pride, a deeper calm. You realize that happiness is not something you guard for yourself. It expands when shared. By serving quietly, you step out of the endless loop of self-preoccupation. You experience your life as interconnected. You understand, not just intellectually but emotionally, that your well-being and the well-being of others are linked. And in that understanding, joy becomes more stable. Let this be your final daily habit. Offer one intentional act of kindness. Let it be small, let it be sincere, let it be enough, and watch how your heart responds. Happiness is not waiting somewhere in the future. It is shaped gently, day by day, through awareness, compassion, and small, intentional acts. These 6 daily habits are not rules. They are invitations to live more fully and cherish everyday moments. If this reflection resonated with you, subscribe to Mindfulness for more Buddhist wisdom, peaceful guidance, and daily practices to create lasting happiness. May your days be steady and your heart at ease.